I think that was 4 governments ago, and it failed.
For the timetable motion, which meant as a constitutional bill, it would have taken the government's entire timetable.
Did you catch the moment when a Labour minister was left stammering in Parliament? It's not often we see politicians truly on the back foot, but this exchange had everyone talking. Sir Desmond Swayne, known for his sharp wit, didn't hold back as he confronted the minister about Labour's track record on House of Lords reforms. What he revealed next left the minister struggling for words. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favour. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. The House of Commons erupted in tension as the debate on hereditary peers began. Labour Minister Ellie Reeves took the floor, exuding confidence as she presented her case.
The talk of reform from the benches opposite today, they had 14 years to do this, but chose.
Her words flowed smoothly, painting a picture of opposition in action on Lords reform. But the atmosphere shifted as Sir Desmond Swayne rose to speak. Known for his razor-sharp wit, Swayne's presence commanded attention. The chamber fell silent, anticipating his response. Without hesitation, he launched into a blistering challenge of Reeves's claims. His voice, steady and assured, cut through the air like a knife. The minister speaks of opposition in action, Swayne began, his eyes fixed on Reeves. But I wonder if she's aware of the full history behind this issue. The tension in the room was palpable as Swayne revealed his insider knowledge. As the former Prime Minister's private secretary, he had a unique perspective on the matter at hand. Swayne's words carried weight, and the minister's confidence began to waver.
The last government introduced a comprehensive bill involving election of peers.
What shocking information was he about to disclose? The chamber held its collective breath, waiting for the other shoe to drop. With calculated precision, Swayne delivered his bombshell. He exposed Labour's 14-year inaction on Lords reform, a fact that contradicted the minister's earlier assertions. The revelation sent shockwaves through the chamber, leaving many MPs visibly stunned. For 14 years, Swayne declared, his voice rising, Labour had the opportunity to act, and yet here we stand, with no meaningful progress to show for it. The accusation hung in the air, challenging the very foundation of the minister's argument. As Swayne's words sank in, all eyes turned to Minister Reeves. How would she respond to this unexpected attack?
I think that was 4 governments ago, and it failed.
Her composure, once unshakable, now showed signs of strain. The pressure was on, and the next few moments would prove crucial in this high-stakes political showdown. The stage was set for a clash of titans. On one side, a minister caught off guard by a skilled opponent. On the other, a seasoned politician, armed with insider knowledge and a determination to expose the truth. As the debate continued, one question loomed large. Could the minister recover from this devastating blow, or would Swayne's revelations prove too much to overcome? Political spin often unravels at the most inopportune moments. For Minister Reeves, that moment arrived with Sir Desmond Swayne's next words. What insider knowledge was he about to unleash that would leave her stuttering? As Reeves scrambled to regain control of the narrative, she reached for what seemed like a foolproof defense, a comprehensive bill from Labour's past. It was a bold move, intended to showcase her party's commitment to Lords reform. But Swain's eyes lit up with recognition, and the chamber tensed in anticipation.
I was the Prime Minister's private secretary at the time. It failed, notwithstanding the fact that I thought it was awful.
Without missing a beat, Swain interjected, his voice carrying the weight of insider knowledge. He revealed the uncomfortable truth behind that very bill. It had failed spectacularly, and for reasons that would make Labour squirm. The tension in the room ratcheted up as Swain exposed the party's internal disagreements that had derailed their own reform efforts. It failed, Swain declared, because Labour withdrew its support for the timetable motion. The implications of his words hung heavy in the air. Not only had Labour failed to push through reform, but they had effectively sabotaged their own efforts. Minister Reeves visibly struggled to maintain her composure. Her earlier confidence evaporated as she searched for a rebuttal, any argument to counter Swain's damning revelations. But the facts were undeniable, and her hesitation spoke volumes.
The fact that you couldn't get the benches opposite could not get agreement even within their own benches.
Swain, sensing blood in the water, pressed his advantage. He delivered the final blow with precision. Labour withdrew support for their own bill. The chamber erupted in a mix of gasps and murmurs. It was a shocking claim, one that cut to the heart of Labour's credibility on the issue of Lords reform. As the debate concluded, the contrast between the two figures couldn't have been starker. Swain stood resolute, his arguments backed by historical fact and insider knowledge. Reeves, on the other hand, appeared visibly shaken. Her responses became increasingly flustered and incoherent, a far cry from the confident minister who had opened the debate. The exchange served as a stark reminder of the importance of political accountability.
For the timetable motion, which meant as a constitutional bill, it would have taken the government's entire timetable.
Swain's revelations had not only challenged the current narrative, but had also shone a light on the complex history of Lords' reform attempts. As MPs filed out of the chamber, many were left pondering the implications of this debate for future reform efforts and the credibility of those championing them. Sir Desmond Swain's challenge to the Labour minister revealed a startling truth about the party's history with House of Lords reform. Despite their current rhetoric, Labour had 14 years to act, but failed to do so. Even more damning, Swain exposed how Labour withdrew support for their own bill, effectively sabotaging their reform efforts. This exchange highlights the gulf between political promises and actions. It raises serious questions about accountability in our political system. How can voters trust politicians when their words often contradict their past actions? The stuttering response from the minister only underscores this problem. As we look to the future of House of Lords reform, one has to wonder, will any party truly commit to meaningful change? Or are we destined to repeat this cycle of bold promises and lackluster follow-through? The public's growing frustration with the current system suggests that the pressure for real reform is mounting. But who, if anyone, will step up to the plate?